I'm Lynn, and today I'm back with another PSLE past year question from the year 2023 paper 2, and it is question 15, a fraction problem. So let's begin. Mei Yi had some books. She donated 3/8 of the books and gave away another 24 books. So we have a fraction and an exact value. So let's underline these important information. Next, she has 4/7 of the books left and she packed them into 20 boxes. Once again, we underline over here. And next, some boxes contain 10 books while the rest contained 18 books. So we underline 10 and 18. Part A asks, how many books were packed into the 20 boxes? And Part B asks, how many boxes contained 18 books? So let's break this question down and solve it together, starting with Part A. So firstly, we are given fractions. What is one way that we can visualize fractions? Drawing models. So we have a fraction of 3/8. So let's draw this first. So we will need a model with 8 parts over here. And in order to get 3/8, we will need to take 3 parts. And this will be what was donated. Now she gave away another 24 books. Do we know how long this 24 will be on our model? No, so let's leave it for now. Next, she has 4/7 of the books left and she packed them into 20 boxes. So Part A will be asking for the value of 4/7. Now this 4/7 is also of the total. But now we have 8 parts. And this fraction we will need 7 parts. So it is very difficult to divide these 8 parts into 7 parts now. But what we can do is to divide each of these parts into 7 parts or 7 units. So, like over here. And if we have each of these 8 parts divided into 7 units, what will be the total units? It will be 8 times 7, which gives us 56 units. And now we want to find how many units is this 4/7. So we can take the total units divided by 7 times 4. And that will give us 32 units, which is over here on our model. And this is what was left. So now we notice on our model that we have 3 units left. What is this 3 units? It is 24. So 3 units is equal to 24 books. Now, are we able to find what is 1 unit? It will be 24 divided by 3, and that gives us 8 books. Remember, Part A asks for the 4/7 of the total. How many units is this? 32 units. So, in order to find 32 units, we can take 8 times 32, and that will give us our answer for Part A, 256 books. Now for this method, it is very time consuming for students to draw the model each 56 units. So let me show you a simpler method. Remember, firstly we have these 2 fractions, 3/8 and 4/7. And in the end, the total was 56 units. How did we get 56? It was 7 times 8, a common multiple of these 2 denominators. So for the fraction of 3/8, we can make the denominator 56 by multiplying with 7. So what about the numerator? It will also need to be multiplied by 7. And this fraction will become 21/56. And now we will need to do the same for 4/7. So what should we multiply the denominator with? 8. What about the numerator? Also 8. So it will be equal to 32/56. And this 56 so happens to be the lowest common multiple. Now in order to find the fraction for 24 books, we can take 1 whole, which is equal to 56 over 56, minus these two fractions, and that will give us 3 over 56. Now 3 over 56 is 24 books, and we can also call this as 3 units. Now, we want to find what is 1 over 56 or 1 unit. So we can take 24 divided by 3, and that gives us 8 books. Now remember, we wanted to find 4 over 7, which is 32 over 56. So what can we do? Take 8 times 32, and that will give us the same answer for part A. So now that we have solved part A, let's move on to part B. So part B asks, how many boxes contain 18 books? From part A, we have the total number of books in 20 boxes, which is 256 books. Now the question gave us that some boxes contain 10 books, while the rest contain 18 books. So, students may think of the guess and check method, but there is a faster method called the assumption and adjustment method. So let's first assume that all 20 boxes contains either 10 books or 18 books. So for this example, let's assume that all it contains 10 books each. So now, what will be the assumed total number of boxes? It will be 20 times 10, and that gives us 200 books. So what is the difference between this assumed total and the actual total number of books? It is 256 minus 200, which is 56 books. This means that when we assume that all 20 boxes has 10 books each, we will be short of 56 books. Now we will need to adjust. So some of these 10 boxes will need to be exchanged to contain 18 books. Now let's take a look if we exchange one box of 10 for one box of 18. How many more books will this box have? It will be 18 minus 10, which will be 8 books more. So for every exchange of one box, we will have 8 more books. And remember that we were short of 56 books. So to find the number of boxes that we will need to exchange, we can take 56 divided by 8, and that gives us 7 boxes, which will be the number of boxes containing 18 books. Our answer for part B. So we have solved this question. Let's summarize so that you will be able to do it by yourself. Remember that in part A, we had 2 fractions of the total, 3 over 8 and 4 over 7. So when we have different fractions of the total, we will need to make the denominators the lowest common multiple. And this was the most important part for part A. Now let's take a look at part B once again. First, we had the total number of boxes, 20, and the total number of books in these 20 boxes, 256. So we have 2 total values. And we also had that some boxes contain 10 books, while the rest contain 18 books. This is 2 single values. So now, when we are given 2 total and 2 single values, we can use the assumption and adjustment method. And this problem is also known as the chicken and rabbit problem. We have come to the end of this question. If you have any other questions regarding PSLE, feel free to scan our WhatsApp QR code and join our PSLE study groups. We have one for 2025 current P6 students and 2026 current P5 students. And with that, I'm Teacher Pamlin, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!